Well, the controversy surrounding Joker is starting to take shape very recently. In fact, concerns over the movie's violence and, its ability to inspire incels to commit, acts of violence against, the domestic populace. It has prompted the Warner Brothers not to screen the movie in the Aurora Century Theater in Colorado, because that's the location of the same of a mass shooting incident, or a mass murder incident in 2012 when The Dark Knight Rises premiered. That was when a man who said he was inspired by the Joker committed a bunch of people back then, during the Christopher Nolan Batman days. And so today Warner Brothers has decided not to screen Joker in that theater, but there's also concerns elsewhere that it could be inciting incel or domestic terrorism incidents. On this IO9 article, the headline is "The U.S. military issues a warning to troops about incel violence at Joker screenings." Because they apparently have received intel or seen things online, rumblings that make them concerned that, when the movie premieres next weekend or around that time, that could inspire violence. Let's read the first couple of paragraphs. The U.S. military has warned service members about the potential for a mass shooter at screenings of the Warner Brothers film Joker, which has sparked wide concerns from, among others, the families of those killed during the 2012 mass shooting in Aurora, Colorado. They wrote an open letter to Warner Brothers, which I'll get to a bit later. The U.S. Army confirmed on yesterday, that the warning was widely distributed after social media posts related to extremists classified as incels were uncovered by intelligence officials at the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Like the FBI is getting in on this action. In a September 18th email, service members were instructed to remain aware of their surroundings and identify 2 escape routes when entering theaters. In the event of a shooting, they were instructed to run, hide, fight. Run if you can, the safety notice said. If you're stuck, hide, also known as sheltering in place, and stay quiet. If a shooter finds you, fight with whatever you can. Now, some of the survivors and their relatives of the 2012 Aurora, Colorado shootings that I referenced earlier in this article, they wrote a letter to Warner Brothers imploring them to take action. There apparently were 5 family members, and here's what this Deadline article says. The 5 family members, who were not speaking on behalf of all the victims, called on Warner's to use your massive platform and influence to join us in our fight to build safer communities with fewer guns. They're not telling Warner Brothers to not screen the movie. They're not going that far. But, they're asking them, I think, to take steps symbolically to reduce gun violence. They're asking them to use, their might as a company and, their finances to, quote, end political contributions to candidates who take money from the NRA and vote against gun reform. These lawmakers are literally putting your customers and employees in danger. Use your political clout and leverage in Congress to actively lobby for gun reform. Keeping everyone safe should be a top corporate priority for Warner Brothers. Help fund survivor funds and gun violence intervention programs to help survivors of gun violence and to reduce everyday gun violence in the communities you serve. Since the federal government has failed to pass reforms that raise the standard for gun ownership in America, large companies like Warner Brothers have a responsibility to act. We certainly hope that you do. And, with this, this mounting, a lot of this has hit the news and it's kind of creating bad buzz in the movie. And so Warner Brothers has released a statement. This is what Warner Brothers representative has said. Gun violence in our society is a critical issue, and we extend our deepest sympathy to all victims and families impacted by these tragedies. Our company has a long history of donating to victims of violence, including Aurora, and in recent weeks, our parent company joined other business leaders to call on policymakers to enact bipartisan legislation to address this epidemic. At the same time, Warner Brothers believes that one of the functions of storytelling is to provoke difficult conversations around complex issues. Make no mistake, neither the fictional character Joker nor the film is an endorsement of real-world violence of any kind. It is not the intention of the film, the filmmakers, or the studio to hold this character up as a hero. Good statement. And I can understand where Warner Brothers is coming from. You know, they're telling a movie about a villain, and I haven't seen the movie, but I highly doubt they're trying to make it seem like the Joker's behavior in the movie, you know, you're supposed to root for him, right? And I don't think that the families from Aurora, Colorado, who, you know, wrote the letter, I don't think they're saying that Warner Brothers is trying to, you know, inspire people to, like, hurt other people. But, you know, it's a sensitive issue. These are sensitive times we're living in. And there's people wondering, you know, is Warner Brothers not being socially responsible? You know, are they in the entertainment industry by releasing a movie like this? A movie that draws so many parallels with real-world tragedies. I'm of the opinion that you should not censor art, and especially if the art is not... I don't think Joker is supposed to be a promotional material for incels and not supposed to make them do stuff. That's not the filmmaker's intent. But, you know, what if when the movie does come out, next weekend, there is another incident, and someone says it's because of this movie? You know, they're going to blame Warner Brothers and Joker, and the people, you know, who are concerned, a lot of those critics and other people saying that Joker hits too close to home and is too violent, they're going to say, yeah, we told you so. I'm of the mind that Warner Brothers should just take the risk. I mean, they're about to release the movie, and not censor their art any more than they already do by not showing it in one theater. But, you know, what do you think? Could this blow up in Warner Brothers' faces? You know, what if somebody does do something violent? I mean, do you agree with the families? Do you think that Warner Brothers should, like, not screen the movie? Or do you think that this could be a potential problem for them going forward? What are your opinions on this issue? Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like it on YouTube and subscribe to the channel because I appreciate your viewership, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.